Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday.
Okay, Coach, it is a brisk night in the Midwest as we bring you football from Paul Brown Stadium in the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
While in college, quarterback teams that improved their win total from 1 his freshman year to 5 his sophomore year to 8 his junior year. Love that type of improvement. Love that type of diligence.
Mike 20. Mike number 53. Mike 53. Rip left.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Goff. That is incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about an on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. A look there at the defensive starters for Cincinnati. They were... very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determine that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Hamilton. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Newton. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Back to throw. Hamilton. He's got his man. Boyd. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
10 yards there on a Bengal first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's caught inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. They'll run on first down. Stevenson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring him down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber.
On 3rd and 2, Hamilton into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. That one good for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected. Picked up a first down.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A shotgun snap for goal. He finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Rams on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun. Gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
No problem there on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
3rd and 2, gone. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he works free. Still going. It'll be a first down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Now it's gone. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Goff now to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, Goff. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Delayed give, Goff to Gurley. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for Cincinnati.
Talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Off the bootleg. Hamilton. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Hamilton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of 10.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
A big run there by Gurley. 43 yards on the ground. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On first down, it's gone. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Throwing again on second down. Goff. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Goff now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Here's Goff. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Throwing again is gone. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Now Goff. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. To throw is gone. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Hamilton. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily The coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Looking to throw on second down. Hamilton. Now they go screen. It's complete. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On first down, it's Stevenson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Back to the air. Goff on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with under pressure again, and down he goes again.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. And this will be taken at the 13. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball
leader, right?
to make a big play. Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Target. Slam. General West.
They'll keep it on the ground. Stevenson, they find some open field here. Powers ahead at the 45. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he's going to get this one all the way down to the Rams' 34. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Ready.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he'll give it here to his running back. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, baby. Return over. Get that ball. Recon, 132 fighter. Switch.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st down, Hamilton. That's complete to the tight end Sample. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Check. Walk 54. Watch the slam.
From the gun, Hamilton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yep.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's go, D.
They'll try the left side. Stanford. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's fourth down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 11. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the fourth. 2nd and 13. Airing one out for Boyd. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
He completes it to Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Back to throw. Hamilton. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. That catch, number 750 of his NFL career, and it puts him even with not just 1 but 2 Hall of Famers, Michael Irvin and Charlie Joyner. So some pretty good company at 750.
Hey, you talk about the playmaker, Michael Irvin, and the guy who just made plays, Charlie Joyner. And that's what we're seeing here. Similar style in terms of being dependable, being open, and turning it into plays that you remember. When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Going for it all. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. DJ Chark hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra points safely through, and they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21. Yard line. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A. Goff now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Goff. Finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
It's just me and you.
Off play action. Holloway. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And some nice running going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams 16.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. So that drive 7 plays in length, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. To throw again on second down. Goff. And that's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? You don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he comes back with one complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the ball is knocked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Operating from the gun. Booth. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle, complete. It's Morgan. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. On 1st and 10. Booth. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Booth. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it ends with a Bengals score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bengals, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. Now they will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.